You are
Welcome.
live. And
You are.
So is it
And
true that
not
Dad's got
yet.
a new bike?
Not yet. Not yet. Huh?
Is it true that Dad got a new bike?
yeah.
107 days.
I thought he was
Not
counting Dad's bike then when he started with 187.
bad.
No, it wasn't 87. 107. You are 1 week away from moving into only double-digit numbers. How do you feel?
That's not a lot of time, is it?
Oh, only 2 weeks ago. Oh, I've got ages.
Yeah, but it says like it's now gonna go into double digits.
Then it starts going quick.
That changes things. And you know, honestly, the thing that scared me the most is that Ben started training. that
Race distance
has
last night, didn't I? I didn't even realise. I just got on my bike and cycled whilst the football was on.
yeah.
And got off my bike. I was like, oh, race distance done.
That's
And
like
how long? Or was it you just chilling, weren't you?
I was just, I was 2 hours exactly, but yeah, I wasn't aiming for a particular distance. I was just cycling whilst watching the football. And then I realised when I was finished, I did 45 kilometres, which is like spot on, isn't it?
it's
It's
40.
40.
Oh, 40. Oh, wow. 5 to spare. I didn't even know if I could have not cycled at half time then.
So that's worrying that Ben started.
It's scared you, has it?
Yeah.
Has it scared you into doing anything?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, yeah? Yeah, no.
No. Yeah.
Show us your
well,
week.
well, you keep when we're not live and no one's around, very sassy, and then you all nice and everything when we're live. Because as he said just before, show us what you haven't done on your plan, which is true this week.
Oh.
But let's go back. Last week did my run in Mallorca and I did my bike ride and I actually took some notes from my bike ride. Let me see if I can get them up of some things I wanted
Alex,
to
aren't you, taking notes and stuff?
things I wanted to share or talk about. What did I have? Oh yeah, just because that was the first bike ride I've done since like November or something. And obviously in the last episode we were talking about my flat and my tires and so on. So I fixed the puncture with the help of Alex.
It was a very good
And
job, I must say.
it was good actually. It was quite all right and felt a lot more confident like if something happened when I was out that I would actually be able to do something. But remember I was like, oh, my tires like have a few cracks and things. And so I pulled up to where this guy was and I'd already asked him to bring a floor pump because I was like, I think I need to pump my tires. And I showed up and I was like, I think they're okay. And he squeezed them and he was like, they're not okay. Like, you need to pump them up. And I was like, oh, great. He was quite interesting because he, partway around, was like, I've not seen you drinking. Like, you need to be drinking regularly. And then I explained to him that, and Alex also went off on me before I could even explain myself about this. I said that I don't have a proper bottle to drink from. I have like a screw cap thermo flask thing. And obviously I said I need to stop to be able to drink. And he gave me like one of his bottles. He was like, reminds me of you, Dad. I said to him a few times, I was like, oh, you like my dad? He's like, I have 40 bottles in the cupboard. Like, honestly, I can give you loads. I was like, oh yeah, I know that. So that was quite, and I've heard you saying that before, Dad, like the importance of drinking and drinking regularly and so on. And then we had a bit of a mishap because I thought that he was planning the route. And Alex had mapped it out for me, like I think it was 40 or 50 that I'd done before. And I showed up and he was like, cool, so do you know like some nice roads around here? And I was like, I thought you were doing the route. So I had to quickly like download Komoot, pay for the plan, like to have it offline and for her to be able to talk to me. But then something that happened, I'd already bought a holder for my phone, but my phone ran out of battery about 3/4 of the way round. Thankfully, when we were already like on the home straight, like there were signposts to where I live. But Dad, you're shaking your head. It's not because my phone wasn't charged, but I was out for 2 hours and the screen is obviously on the whole time. So I don't know what I can do about that in the future.
I told you some things.
Yeah, you did tell me some things.
Like not
Turn
having
off
the
your
screen on
screen.
the whole time. Yeah.
Yeah, have just
Does she
audio.
still talk to you?
Yeah, you can have it so she just speaks and you don't have the camera on. Then you can check it just at the corners, like if there's somewhere where you're not sure. But I find that Komoot is reasonably good for simple routes. But if you get to like complicated junctions, then sometimes it gets a bit special. And sometimes you get, turn right, and all you actually have to do is like cross the road or something like that. So you do have to be able to see it sometimes. But
yeah, but that's why, I mean, anyway, with that route, I think if I do it 2 or 3 times, like it's not that complicated. And that's also something I said, like I could just go and do that same route the whole time. But it's more if I go on a new one, like I like to see it.
yeah, my phone lasts a lot longer than that, though. Like I'd say 4 or 5 hours of Komoot, and I keep the map on normally.
Oh. Well, that was a problem that I need to try and see. And then the last thing was the funny coincidence of at one point there was like some temporary traffic lights and some guy had been like cruising behind us for quite a long time. And I kept looking around like, surely you can overtake us, but he was taking it super easy. We got to the traffic lights and of course he like then went in front of us to be the first one to go. And when he pulled up, he was wearing a nice pink shirt that said Knocker Heist on it. And I was like, oh. And I said to the person I was riding with, I was like, that's where I'm doing my race. And he was like, oh, you should talk to him and like ask him some questions and so on. But I didn't. So yeah, that was my overview of my bike. Went well, good fun. And then I didn't do my swimming sessions last week.
Drown in a minute. She's gonna drown in a minute.
Yeah,
Why?
that didn't happen. Because I thought I would do them. I was away at the weekend, and I thought I would do them there. And I just didn't plan it well. I think it goes back to a lesson I've learned. Like, actually, I did have it in my calendar for the weekend, but it was only on the last day. Oh no. It was only on the last day that I was like, oh, I actually could have swam in the sea. Like, it was really quite nice. But I will say something. So I got back on Monday. And Tuesday, first thing after I walked the dogs, I went to the swimming pool to try and rectify my mistake. You're not even listening to that bit, are you? I was straight back. But yeah, that was
So you
just
did
poor
swim.
planning.
What? You swam
There
in
No,
should have been 2.
this
You
week.
did 1 out of 2.
No, last week I should have done 2 and I didn't do any. This week I'm on track. Yeah. And then also this week, so I've done 1 swim. I did my run, which you all heard about, which was not very successful either. Actually, it was meant to be between an 8 and a 10K, and I did 5, and then that was it. I was finished.
Question for you.
Yeah.
Based on the other topic that we've been talking about today, was that a physical stop or a mental stop?
I think probably physical, actually.
Okay.
My heart rate was super high, and yeah, I had this. It wasn't a cramp, but I felt like I was very close to a cramp in my calf. And yeah, I was running. I think there was no shade or anything. And when I stopped at 2K, I had one of those little jellies with me, and I was like, I need that to even fathom doing any more distance. I had it and some water, and then ran home.
What time did you go? Had you eaten properly before? Are you?
Probably not like something substantial, but I did go at about 11, which I think now is too hot, because I was thinking in Mallorca I ran, but I think I ran at around 8:30 or 9 in the morning. But anyway, I woke up and I was like, I'm not feeling good. Like, I was already super tired, but I took the idea of like, oh, is that even a real baby?
It looks like a doll.
It is. Oh no. And I took the
face really looks like a doll.
yeah, but she's moving. I took the like just go out for 5 minutes.
Might have to mute you though, Ben.
Go out for 5 minutes and see what happens. So it was a 5K, and to be fair, it was quite a quick one. So that was that. And I'm meant to be biking tomorrow, but there's thunderstorm warning, so my friends cancelled.
Are you doing something instead, like a catch-up swim?
Well, I might swim, or I might try and go out anyway, because I don't know if it is actually going to thunderstorm.
That's risky.
Well,
catching up a swim might not be a bad idea.
Well, you say catching up, but I have one planned for the weekend.
Oh yeah. Still.
Dad?
We?
You were like, ooh, about to say something. Ooh.
Well, because you said I had one planned for the weekend, and then I remembered, oh, it's Thursday, it's Friday tomorrow.
yeah.
That was
true.
Yeah, one plan for the week. Oh, yeah, it's nearly the weekend. That's all.
It is almost, yeah.
So yeah, that's the latest. Any feedback, any advice, any tips?
Overview. How many sessions were you supposed to do? How many did you do?
Well, I'm aiming for 2 swims, 1 bike, and 1 run a week.
Yeah, since the last episode. Well, so what would it be? 2 swims, 2 bike, and a run. So you should have done 10.
2 runs. Yeah, and well, so far I've done 4, but it will be... No, that can't be right. No, I'm doing 4 a week. So it should have been 8. I've done 4, and it should be 6 by the end of this week. So it's just the 2 swims that I missed.
Okay. Which were the priority sessions?
Yeah, I know, but things happen. I still went out and did a bike, my first bike, and did a run when I was away celebrating. So come on now.
You asked for feedback. That's my feedback.
Yeah, I know. Okay. Noted. Anything else from anyone else?
You don't sound like you really want the feedback, actually.
Ben?
I think my little Olympic swimmers have done more swimming sessions than you in the last in the 2 weeks.
Oh gosh. Okay, you can mute Dad. No, he doesn't want to.
It's always hard when you go away, so yeah, keep at it.
Yes. That's
What? When you go away, she went away somewhere with a swimming pool and a beach, and she didn't swim.
Yeah, I've never done open water
to
swimming.
Relax, to celebrate. Yeah, with someone else, it's not. Then you really have to be a monk. But that wasn't the plan for the weekend.
It wasn't the plan for the weekend.
I think we talked about priorities before, didn't we?
I have a question. When do you normally train? Morning or afternoon or evening?
It really depends.
Okay.
Mostly morning.
Mostly morning.
Yeah.
I asked Gemini about why endurance athletes train in the morning rather than later in the day.
Mm.
Okay, there's a lot of good reasons. So you should try and do your sessions in the morning, I think. Morning workouts help avoid distractions that might occur throughout the day. Physiological benefits suggesting that it's better for fat oxidation and an endorphin boost for the rest of the day, leading to increased productivity. Normally, the races are in the morning, so training in the morning helps the body prepare for that. And early morning training can lead to less sleep disruption than evening training.
Mm.
So they don't give a percentage. I wanted like a number of like how many, what percentage of Ironman or endurance athletes train in the morning. It didn't give me a number, but it said that the vast majority train in the morning rather than the evening. But it said it's mostly because the race is in the morning too, so it's to simulate that.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
I guess schedule is also the big one, right? Like you get it done.
Yeah. Also, just backtracking a second, you said, she went away with pools and everything. The pools were packed with kids and people. Not packed, but I'm not going to be there swimming up and down in my goggles and my hat.
They're often not good shapes or not very long either.
Yeah, they were doing aqua aerobics
The
in the
picture
middle
you
of
sent
it.
was like a perfect length.
Which one?
You sent a picture of like you sitting on. No, you weren't sitting on this balcony, but it was a pool that was just like overlooking the sea.
That was
it was
tiny.
a straight line.
That was tiny.
You could do a lot
It
of
was. It was.
practice your turns.
But I do have to say, long turns. The sea would have been perfect. There was one day it was quite windy and choppy, but I didn't even go into the sea until like, when did I go? Sunday, which was already the day before we were leaving. And then I was like, I didn't have my stuff. I was like, that would have been perfect. And then Monday I went for a dip in the morning and I was like, would have been good.
Intentions. She didn't even have her stuff. She
I know.
didn't even.
I took
even
my
if there
stuff.
wasn't-
Had it for the
Oh, you
weekend.
took your
but
stuff.
Not
Yeah.
on the.
I had my stuff.
Not at the beach.
Yeah.
That's
Anyway.
like that. When I went to Croatia, like when I was doing my swim, I walked to the beach in my wetsuit. Like people
you
were
don't
walking.
have to do that.
Well, I was ready. That's like literally. That's what I mean about like whether you're going to do it or not. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Well,
That's it, isn't it?
That's Atomic Habits, isn't it? Lay your kit out.
Yeah, and put it on. If I didn't walk in my wetsuit, then I probably wasn't going to put it on the beach, was I? And if I didn't do my swim, I would have looked stupid too because I would have walked down to the beach in my wetsuit and then not done it.
Anyway, that's the update. We're trying to get back on it before everything changes again because I'm going away again next Friday for the whole month.
So you've got 1 week.
Yeah, this week and next week to get back in.
So we should talk about
to Croatia. Are you bringing your wetsuit to Croatia?
I don't have a wetsuit.
We'll do cold water swimming.
Yeah,
you don't actually need it. No, you don't need it there. Just to practice though. Because when are you going to do wetsuit practice?
We've figured it out.
Maybe in June.
Try. Yeah.
Because Dad doesn't know it yet, but I think I might be going to him after Croatia for 2 weeks. And that's why I was asking about the open water sessions, because then actually that's a good excuse for me to go with you and practice some sessions myself.
Oh, that's quite good swimming too.
Willowbrook. We'll probably go to Willowbrook, not the other one. But remember Peter, who came with us before Alex, he went last week. He said the water temperature is up to 19 degrees.
Oh. Nice.
Positively tropical, no?
Yes. Well, I think the pool temperature at the moment might be around 20, 21, 22.
Yeah.
So it's not far off that, but that's also not far off the no wetsuit required.
Yeah, that's
Mhm.
Tony was
24.
telling me. Is it 24?
Yeah,
Is it between
a-
like 19 and 24 where it's optional?
I think
Yeah.
21. Oh, yeah, maybe 19. But yeah, 24 is the upper limit. So it takes a lot to get there. I don't think it got to that last year. So
My pool's fucking freezing.
oh,
Put
so
your
you have
wetsuit
a
on
swimming pool? Yeah.
But yeah, that's the
Um,
plan. So I'll get plenty of open water swimming in, I hope.
Yeah, with the wetsuit, which is currently in my drawer here in Hamburg.
Well, I do have a wetsuit.
No, you're
Not-
not swimming in that.
Well, it's
Is it the
better that.
surfing one?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Surely it's better to practice with something than nothing.
no,
Oh, okay.
it's
Well.
completely different. That's sounds like it's obvious, but me and Ben did exactly the same thing.
Did we?
we walked into a triathlon shop as we were preparing for the first one, like didn't know anything. We'd had, I don't know, I guess from Lanzarote or Fuerteventura had like these surfing wetsuits, or I was taking your one even or something like that. So we show up, walk into the store, and we're like, yeah, we're planning our first triathlon. It was probably in 2 weeks' time or 1 month or something like that. We're just coming in to see like about a tri suit and a wetsuit, but we've got these wetsuits holding up the surf ones. Like, can we just swim in those? Their faces were they like, I don't know if they thought we were joking or what, but it was they were not impressed.
Okay.
They nearly
yeah.
gave us the wetsuits for free, I think, didn't they? They were like, "Oh my god, these guys need help."
Yeah,
Help them.
yeah.
I thought you did buy yours, Ben. You rented it and then bought it afterwards.
Yeah, mine's the one I did the Ironman in is the same one I did the first triathlon in.
Yeah.
Are you taking your wetsuit to Croatia?
No, because I could, but no, because I would do my open water swimming without a wetsuit there.
Do you think
It's
it'll
too
fit
warm.
me?
It's probably too big for you. But the reason I wasn't taking it is because we're gonna have a fuckload of stuff in the car, so I'm not taking it for you.
No, but I'm thinking if you drop it around Dad's, if I am there for 2 weeks.
Oh, but I can leave it with Dad.
2
You can
weeks.
try.
Yeah, I did say that before.
No,
confirmed
you
That's
said
yet.
a later conversation.
Yeah.
But just I can also maybe bring it over, but I'll need it at some point. But yeah, let's see.
If not, my surfing one might still be at Dad somewhere.
Well, I've got
Rebecca's
my
got a surfing
one.
one. Yeah, that's what she was saying.
What's the
Okay,
biggest
so
difference?
7.
Is it mobility?
No, it's the material. Like, it's different purpose, isn't it? A surfing wetsuit is not about keeping you buoyant or allowing you to swim. It's about kind of keeping you warm. A swimming wetsuit is about, you can move through the water. It's more buoyant. It doesn't absorb the water as much. Like a surfing wetsuit holds a lot of water.
Triathlon suits are built for speed and efficiency, so they have thinner neoprene for reduced drag and greater flexibility for swimming strokes, whereas surfing wetsuits are built for durability and warmth in colder waters with thick neoprene and more rugged construction.
Mm.
So you might struggle with your arm movement if you put a surfing one on, as well as getting too warm potentially.
I think buoyancy as well is the big thing. Like a surfing wetsuit, you don't float as much, do you? So it makes a big difference. And then you're dragging that through the water rather than sitting above it. Okay, so you have 7 days before it goes to chaos again, and it sounds like it might go to chaos for a rather long time. What's your plan when there is no plan?
Well, hopefully not descend into chaos. I can definitely keep my runs up. I can definitely don't bring that up again and point at swimming, because I can keep my swimming up, as we've discussed. We can swim in Croatia. I might even go to the pool in the UK. Yes, Benjamin?
I'm taking my bike.
There we go. I've got Ben's bike. I don't think it's that dramatic. I can swim. There's pools. There's the sea. I can run. I've got my legs and the bike. Use Ben's bike. In the UK, I'm not sure. Use Dad's bike. Not Dad's bike. Someone else's bike when I'm there.
My bike has clip-in pedals though.
I'll just use my normal shoes on them. That's the plan. No chaos.
I've got
So
some spare
try
pedals.
to keep it going.
Swap them over.
There you go. Huh, Alex?
So try to keep it going.
As best as possible, yes, because otherwise I will panic. It's a long month without anything. Yes.
I'm joining when I get back. I've decided I'm joining the gym as well. I'm gonna have gym sessions every day when I get back.
Every day?
Every fucking day.
God. What
Why?
are your gym sessions?
But it's going to be quite triathlon related that I will do. I think I'm thinking about it. I'm going to get some weights in there too, but I think I'm going to do row, cycle, run. Because then I can do like, I can go quite, but I can go quite early. And I was thinking probably 6 o'clock in the morning and come back before everyone wakes up and get it done, but get all 3 disciplines done to a certain degree by 8 o'clock in the morning or something like that.
But it's light at 6 now. Why would you not go for a ride outdoor or run outdoor? Or
I could, but I wouldn't get swimming done then.
Which you're doing in the gym, are you?
I'm doing rowing, which is a good alternative too, isn't it?
What's changed?
Actually, I'm not sure. One of the things I wasn't sure about is whether I got my MRI results. I'm not allowed to play football until August still. So I'm not sure if I'm like running on the street is a good idea either, because you still have like potential to miss a step or something like that, don't you? Whereas in the gym on a treadmill, that probably won't happen. Or I could do it on is it epileptical? Or is that when you have a seizure? I never remember the difference.
elliptical. Yeah.
Elliptical. It is elliptical, isn't it?
Elliptical.
Yeah, not epileptical.
It's because I look like I'm having epileptical when I do it.
Ben,
Yeah.
what's changed? Because the last time we were speaking, you were like, "Oh, I'm not going to train till like a month before." Now you're going to the gym every day.
Not yet, but that will be summer holidays.
Yeah.
So that's the change. The fact that I won't have work, so I can get up and go, and then it'll be done. I don't have to go to work straight away after.
After your month, there will be 77 days.
After the month of Rebecca's holiday.
Yeah.
Sickening.
Let's keep that in somewhere in there. Shall we?
Also, I think the invitational triathlon is like the day after I get back, I think.
Yeah. There's no set distances for that. That's just fun in the sun.
Well, I'm gonna smash that.
Oh gosh.
I'm using it as mental training. So I'm going mental. Yeah, I'm going mental on it.
No, you're coaching. You're coaching some of the other novices. You're there as a coach, not as a participant.
No, I was just joking.
Well, actually, he could do the whole thing by the time we're even got a toe in the water, probably.
I'm going to put a rope on me and tie it to Rebecca. Make her go.
Tie her to one of the boats that goes past.
Right. Any other training topics, Rebecca?
No.
Have you tried cycling on an indoor bike when terrible football is on? Works quite well.
She doesn't have an
Don't.
indoor bike.
And I don't watch football.
It wasn't football yesterday.
I think I genuinely think if I was just watching that game, I would have fell asleep. So it's actually quite good to cycle at the same time. But did keep me up later than I should have been up last night. But I did get 2 hours of cycling done. So
Fair enough.
it's
I think I
quite
might
nice,
try and go out on my own tomorrow, depending on the weather. So let's see.
If not, a swim is a good idea.
If you check it in the morning, does it change often or not?
It does, but I mean, right now it says it's just raining all day and there's thunderstorm warning. But I think it will be one of those things when you wake up and it's like all shifted.
You do
Yeah, right.
realise as well, your triathlon race is in Belgium, where rain is quite a distinct possibility. So training in the rain
but rain
could be a good
and
idea.
a moderate thunderstorm warning is maybe a bit different now.
Yeah, thunderstorm I would avoid, but rain might be a good idea to cycle in it once or twice before
Yeah, true.
race day.
Let's see.
Well, stay by the coast or the hills, because the rain in Spain falls mainly on the.
Oh gosh.
Oh, they're saying that, Dad, in Belgium we haven't had proper rain. I think we've said it's 4 days of rain since the 1st of April or something like that, isn't it? That we've had.
Yeah.
We're having drought.
I was just looking at the weekend. There's rain forecast the weekend when I want to go out for some long runs.
Some long runs.
Long rides.
Oh,
Right. So I was going to say that sounds like a Rebecca thing. That does, doesn't it? It's raining during Rebecca cycles, but it's raining during Dad's runs. But his cycles have all been dry so far.
Selective weather.
Rain Saturday.
It's a
rain
bastard.
Sunday.
Those clouds, they only come out when I want to run.
Yeah.
No, for me, they come out when I'm swimming.
All right. We move on to the next part, which is we've been busy in this Facebook group, Pathetic Triathletes, and we asked, what's the one thing that always stresses you out before race day? We got a lot of answers, which Rebecca has pre-sorted. So we're going to go through the different race day stresses and talk about them and offer some tips or share our advice. So
I just say that some answers are still coming in now, but I've just
really
I've stopped looking at some point.
Okay, so it was curated responses from a certain date.
Yeah.
We apologize if your response has not been taken into consideration. You can come back next time. All right, let's go. So I think it's sorted by most to least, right?
Yeah.
So starting with 16 people who are worried about going to the toilet. Interestingly enough, 2 poops seems to be the common number. So people are stressed about long lines for toilets and getting the wetsuit back on.
This was like in general, it was about going to the toilet. There was some specifics like the long lines and so on. And a number of people had kind of agreed that 2 poops pre-race is like the ideal.
I have a solution.
What's that?
Cut a crap flap into your wetsuit so you can just do it in the swim.
That is disgusting. It's not my wetsuit.
What did you call it?
A crap
flap.
Is that a technical term?
Sounds like it could be, doesn't it?
Sounds good. You should copyright that.
I think the real solution is go on the Alex
No,
diet,
wait,
isn't it?
before you go to real solutions, I also had a solution. Especially if you're lactose intolerant, drink milk.
Oh gosh.
Flash it out. Do what you need to do. Okay, Ben, go with your real one.
The real one, plain rice for dinner the night before, plain rice for breakfast.
Does that make you poop?
No, I think it quite the opposite. There's nothing really
Oh.
to poo out there. So
Because an interesting, not concern, but surely like you spent a few days like you're drinking electrolytes and things like this. Surely you don't want to flush it all out.
Well, that's not. You're getting rid of not the stuff that you need, right?
No.
When you excrete.
Mhm.
So the other stuff should be absorbed into your body.
It was a bit like they were saying on the other podcast about knowing where you are and planning for your race mentally. What I find, I know what time I have to get up, I know what I'm going to eat, and I know by which time I will have done what I need to do. Thinking of this too, and the queues at the toilets. At Friesland, there was quite a big queue for the toilets. Most of the time, it's only then peeing that I need to do. But over where you check your bikes in before you go to the toilets, there are other toilets there that weren't so busy. So literally, I think for me, by the time I've got my wetsuit on and I'm in the queue, you might need a pee that you can do anywhere or you can hold. But it's about what you've eaten. A bit like your run the other day when your leg hurt. We talked about hydration. Hydration isn't just drinking when you're running or riding. It's life. It's the day before and everything. So it's what you've eaten the day before that, and making sure that you know what keeps you regular, what blocks you up. Making sure you're hydrated the day before as well, because that helps to keep you going, keep you regular, and making sure you're done well in advance.
Yeah. Okay.
Then, or do you want to walk us through the equipment and how it's done?
Yeah, so in general, it was 15 people, like generally about equipment, some specifics, 6 people having packed the right kit, 6 people specifically about either tire pressure or having flat tires, 1 person forgetting to charge your stuff, 1 person the bike computer not working, and that was it for specifics. Any solutions, any thoughts on them?
Rebecca, you should also say if these are concerns of yours as well.
These aren't equipment's not a concern for me because I've got 3 people there to help. So no.
And none of it's your equipment anyway, so just
Yeah.
expecting it all to come together on the day.
Like this is really like a princess race for me. Like I expect to be handed the bike with everything loaded up and I just need to go.
You're gonna
But
have
it's the-
a really nice time.
The packing the right kit is the day before or the day before that or the week before that as well.
Yeah.
I have, surprisingly enough for you guys, checklists. What you do in advance, what you do the week before, what you do the day before, what you do the morning of.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are some things that if you suddenly say, oh, I've got no tubes left,
Yeah.
they should be ordered and packed. So you always spare gels, everything. There's no good thinking of that, running that the day you're about to jump in the car and off you go. So they're the ones I typically do a week before. We've all seen the shots of people that lay their kit out on the bed.
Mm-hmm.
We've done that, and we've done it together a bit late when we was on site. This is going in this bag. This is what I'm wearing here. This is what I'm going to change into. This is what I'm going to get into here. And you lay them out to make sure you've got everything. And again, it all comes from training as well. The more you do it in training, you more than know what kit you want and what you need and what potential options are. Be careful with options because that can sometimes lead to confusion, mistakes, or new on race day. One tip that I heard, but I haven't deployed, I haven't needed to, is to not actually just go through your kit, but to transition, to go through it, wear it, put it on, which seems a bit crazy, but it's when you put it on, you realize, oh, I haven't got these socks, or they're not here, or I'm missing this. It's weird with the cycling, which I do most. cycle from home, no problem. You know, where's my keys? Where's my phone? Off you go.
Yeah.
That's everything's there. It's when you're loading it into a car, and people have talked about leaving their bikes at home, leaving their wheel at home, leaving their shoes or helmet at home. That's the thing. So again, it's and maybe I've got kit bags as well that are for the 3 different disciplines. Like you could put them straight in the transition bags, is to make sure you've got them. So if you go through that, you've done that.
Mm-hmm.
And you combine that with the checklist, and yeah, you still worry you might have forgotten something, but
Or maybe that would be an
that's probably
interesting
enough.
episode, actually, because I'll need to like pre-pack before I come. Maybe we could do that live, like go through those checklists, what I need to bring to Belgium to have, and then obviously some things I'll gather there. But yeah, I think that's
Is there stuff that you are because you don't have a
Running
wetsuit,
shoes.
you don't have
my
a bike.
trainers, my
It's gonna be a
trainers,
short packing
and my
packing
socks.
session.
Yeah, she says packing list is for everybody else. It's not for her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an agenda. Please have this ready for me at this time. I would like this given into my right hand. This one should be
Well,
fed to me.
there are 3 of you, and there are 3 disciplines. So you can each pick one and be in charge of that.
I'll do
running.
Too good.
Becca, do you have a tri-suit?
Yeah.
She's got 2.
Okay.
No,
have you
yeah.
cycled or run in them?
I don't think I have 2. I have one
Yeah, you tried
bike
2 on.
thing. Oh, but currently here I have, what are they called? A bike bib. And I have a tri-suit that has Alex written on it, but I haven't tried that yet.
Yeah, you tried it on
Alex?
in Belgium.
I tried it on, but I haven't tried it
Right.
on
Yeah,
on the bike.
cycled in it.
Yeah, maybe I'll do that tomorrow.
That's a good
Then
thing
you
to
should
do
really
soon.
run off after as well.
I wouldn't say that, no, not straight away, but she should do a run in the tri-suit too, because that can feel quite different to
Yeah.
running in whatever else you run in.
Yeah, I think I do need to practice that.
You might identify chaffing zones if you
It's true.
and you want to do that before race day, not on race day, of course.
Very true. Nothing new.
Flat tires, tire pressure.
That was one of my biggest concerns. But luckily, touch wood, it was fine. But yeah,
What did you do?
Didn't get a flat tire.
No, but what did you do to address that concern? Like, how did you try to calm it, or you just didn't?
Prayed
I had
to the
spares.
gods.
Had spares. Borrowed Dad's pump. Pumped the tires up to the right pressure. I had issues in the weeks before, didn't I? I think I told you all about them. Where I had I think I changed the tubes quite a few times and got quite a few punctures on new tires and new tubes. And then I don't know, I didn't really change anything, and it just worked. But I changed the tubes. But I think I went through 2 or 3 tubes and then got one that worked, and then I used that one for a few training rides and it was fine. Then I had that dilemma of should I change both tubes for race day to have new ones or not.
What did you do?
No, I kept the same. I was like, they haven't gone down for my last 2 or 3 training rides, so I'm not going to change them now in case you put it in a little bit wrong or get a stone or something. Yeah, no.
You can check the tyres when you check your bike in, which is normally the day before, not always. You can check them the morning of. You have to decide whether you're taking a spare, whether you can change it and have the practice change it.
You can't scratch and talk at the same time.
I can.
Yeah, so where was I? Start again. Yeah, you
can check them the morning of.
Yeah, the morning of, and you have to decide whether if you can change spares and if you practiced it and if you're going to carry them, or if you get a puncture and you're out. There's quite a few Alex might know. I can't remember if it was open legs. Quite often in the bike park, there's a mechanic there. Quite often a queue. I think there are floor pumps there as well. So it's not down to you with a hand pump. A lot of people take their own floor pumps, but you don't have to. There are some there. So yeah, there are other options. So we've seen
I think
people morning of get a flat, which is a bit devastating. But you got don't panic. You got time to sort it out.
Yeah, I think it depends a bit on your situation, right? But one flat tire shouldn't be the end of your day. Like, you should know how to change it. You should carry that stuff at least to change one. Like, if it happens twice and there's 2 tubes and you're not going to patch one during a race, that's fair enough. Like, then your day's done. You were just unlucky. But getting one flat tire, yeah, it might cost you a PB, but shouldn't cost you the race. So practice it before. If you know how to do it, then you shouldn't be that stressed about it. The only thing that will be stressed is doing it on the day and losing a bit of time, but in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that builds with the more I go out anyway.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully not. You don't get too many flats. But it's also a time, if you try to move quickly, you don't do the classic check inside the tube, you get another puncture again, that will freak you out. But it's also, I know it's a race and you're trying to do your best and you maybe do your PB, but it's time for nutrition, time for a breather. It's not just, oh my God, I've got a flat. It's you heard on the previous podcast about the guy that waited for somebody to come and fix it and then got the best time in the marathon. So it's not the end necessarily, but it's the end if you freak out.
Yeah.
And if you're nice, somebody might cycle past and lend you a pump. Hey, Ben.
Ben, by the way, I'm just saying, if you see me with a flat tire, you're not just giving me the pump. You better be getting off your bike and helping me.
Hey, wait. If I see you, that implies you would have beaten me on the swim.
Yeah, on the bike. Or maybe you're on your second lap. Is it a lap one or is it out and back?
I think it's a one lapper.
Well. Anyway, just saying, if you happen to see me, even if it's on the other side of the course, I expect you to come over. Forgetting to charge your stuff. Not worried. All I need to charge is my watch.
Don't matter.
That's like a dad bike one, isn't it? Where like you have to charge your gear changing stuff, isn't it?
That's about the only one that
computer.
Watch
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't.
If you don't have them, it doesn't matter. We all get obsessed about having them all, but you can get by. And it's a bit like the bike computer not working. Okay, yeah, if you want to see what output you're doing, and yes, you've got a map on there, it's reassuring. There's not many courses. I know Ben and Alex would agree to disagree, but most of them are well signposted. And if you have an idea of the route before, if these things are, put it on your checklist, make sure you charge it. Again, get in the habit. The Di2 charging on my bike, you supposedly do it once a month. I do it ahead of every big ride, so even if I forgot to do it, it should be fine. The Di2 is a pick, because if that gets stuck on a gear, that could wreck your ride and your run. But just have it on your checklist. But the rest of it, bike computer not working, don't matter. Some people do better when they listen to their body and they're not obsessed with the stats and what's ticking on there.
I don't even think I'm going to use it. Like I won't have used it in my training. So what?
No, the only thing you could do is you could put it on like something simple, like show the distance you've done and the speed you're doing, so that you don't have to look at your watch. You could just look down in front of you to see how far you've gone.
Yeah.
What,
are you
talking about a bike computer?
Yeah.
And
the big
if you haven't
advantage
used
is
it in training, you're not going to add it on race day.
No. But that answers your other problem about your phone as well, is to get a GPS for the bike.
Yeah.
It's not. You can't just go out and do that, though, can you?
Costs money.
What now?
It's like the same.
No, but if you, that's what I never had a problem with my phone. Why? Because I use the GPS on the bike.
Yeah, but you remember my budget.
You ain't got no budget.
Exactly.
Mm.
No, it's
You've
all
got
right.
a birthday though. You've got a birthday coming up.
Oh, I don't want to buy a computer for my birthday.
That's guaranteed then.
Mm.
Oh gosh.
Do you need
She
to?
doesn't want Zwift. She doesn't want a TT bike. She doesn't want new carbon running shoes either. In size 44 and like white and orange would be nice.
That would be good. Yeah, not
There is
concerned
this, but these are the charging your stuff. There is the checklist. There is the going through. There is the rehearsing, and there is the obsession. People have forgotten stuff. I forgot my socks once. I think I'd left them in the car. You run without your socks, you cycle without your socks. It's not the end of the world.
Well, that was my dream, remember? But for the
Yeah.
half marathon,
Yeah.
no socks, no shoes.
I think I was quite upset, not because I had to do the triathlon without them. I think it was their first sprint or whatever, but they were my favourite socks, and I thought I'd lost them or somebody had nicked them.
Oh,
But
no.
they were still in the car. They'd fallen out my bag and were still in the car. So there is this idea of perfection, getting everything perfectly right, and
but you
it
don't
doesn't
need.
have to be perfectly right. No.
Yeah. Well, if you actually read the responses, like I was answering like I knew what I was talking about. And for that one dad, like for all this equipment, I was like, checklist, checklist, checklist. Like it's so important. I was channeling my Papa Woo. Yeah, you always need to double check, triple check your checklist. So
I had one
learning
as well for the Ironman. I had a checklist, and I had a checklist before I went on holiday last year too. I think it was the same one. It's like to make sure, because again, if I'd left something quite crucial in Belgium, then I wouldn't have been able to do one element of training for 3 weeks. Yeah. So.
Have you added your wallet to your checklist?
No.
It wasn't the wallet on the checklist. It was the location that was the problem. You need a tracker. But there are some things like no helmet, no race.
Yeah, but also, but some like we joke about my wallet, but no ID card, no race as well, right?
Yeah.
So
but that's why some things are
on
the checklist in advance, like bike service and stuff like that. You know, if you plan that in advance at the start of the season or another checkup just to make sure everything's okay.
Yeah, Alex will do that.
We'll do it the Alex way then as well.
The next thing we had was the swim, which obviously lots of things here. Panic attacks, just in general. Being in the ocean specifically, I think. Someone putting your head underwater, which I commented and I was like, wow, like good on you for still doing these races. If this is a genuine fear you have. Getting warmed up beforehand, which Dad, you've spoken about quite a bit, and now I'm getting into my freezing cold pool. I'm like, wow, that's quite a concern. Getting knocked out. Yeah. The crowd actually, I read it as in like the crowd of people watching, like just a lot of people at the start. Which I thought was
the crowd of people where it's very busy in the water as well.
Which I thought that's what she was talking about, but actually she was talking about like the support, like I think just the pressure maybe of the atmosphere and so on. Someone seeing the course like in the morning or the day before and thinking, oh, that looks a lot longer than what I've trained for, or a lot further than what I've trained for, and the temperature of the water and people kind of which all very, what's the word I want? Relatable, understandable.
The sharks, we're laughing at the sharks, but jellyfish in some places is a big problem.
But not where we are.
In Kanoka, they've got crocodiles. They call them canocodiles.
Do you remember, Alex, when we saw Almere, and our biggest concern was how many buoys there was in the water and which ones we had to go round?
Yeah.
It didn't look obvious, did it, from the side? Yeah, it was like
not the day before, but they'd cleared it up, hadn't they, for the race?
Yeah.
Well, again, at Friesen, when we looked out, the course looked tiny.
Yeah.
because the buoys were
was for me.
jubbly shaped, like pyramids. Yeah, not for those that went around the full course, but it's not until you get close to them that you realise they're the size of a house.
Yeah.
So when you stood on the shore, you think, oh, that's not very far. And then when you're swimming, you're thinking, oh my God, it's not getting any nearer.
They're the size of a house.
They were huge.
No.
A small, like Lily and Lex's house in the garden.
No, they were bigger than that.
Not much, like a
You
garden
couldn't climb
shed.
up it. No, they're huge.
I could, I reckon, if I had the right mental approach to it.
Any solutions for any of these?
The distance, if you've done your training, you know the distance. They'll get it right, hopefully, unless Alex tells them they're wrong. So, and a lot of this is you're in your head. Being in the ocean, I think more and more of them, they're moving away from the ocean.
Mm,
And it's not a problem for you anyway, so it's not one to be worried about.
no.
Yes, in Kanoka, they've moved it out of the sea and into an indoor lake, indoor.
Inland.
Inland, that's the word, yeah. Yeah, the water temperature and getting warmed up, that is a pain. Some places you can't get in there and you can't warm up. But again, if you've trained in the run-up, wetsuit, no wetsuit, you're used to it. Okay, I don't like the cold, so I have the technique. I jump in and wait. It feels, I was going to say for a few minutes, it's probably not even that long. But that probably helps with the panic attacks as well. I mean, the problem is, and you've done it with the running and perhaps the cycling, but the swimming and that you stood waiting for it can be, nearly an hour sometimes, that you've seen them all go, because all of the faster people go in front of you. If they're corralled that way, or if it's a mass start, you see them all piling off and you think, oh my God, I'm last one. And so the temptation is to go twice as fast as you normally go, which cause your panic attacks and stuff like that as well. But it's back to your race, your pace. If you've trained, you've done the distance, jump in that water, and it feels like you've been there for half an hour, and it's probably less than a minute. Get your breathing under control and then swim. And there's lots of people there to help you as well. And I think we said it before, you can hang on to a canoe. That doesn't end your race.
Yeah.
You can hang
As long
on
as
to
you
it
don't
and
move forwards.
Yeah.
with the canoe. Yeah, if you're dragging the canoe along, that might be better. There's the coach was doing it to me this week and last with the breathing as well, swimming on your back. I always wondered why they did it on the back and not. I used to prefer breaststroke so I can see what's going on. But with the on your back is similar to your front, and your chest is stretched out, so it's easier to breathe. It's less constraint, so that's why you can flip on your back and carry on as well.
Interesting.
And getting knocked out, if the crowd is in the water, we've said as well, start at the back, start at the side. Unless you're going for podium and you want to be at the front, or you particularly want to be in the washing machine, then just again, you only have to wait. If it's a mass start, it's a minute max, and everybody's gone.
Yeah,
and
chaos.
In some ways, it's quite nice. You start picking them off, and you can weave your way around and do your own pace. But
or in the words of that famous song, then I get knocked down, I get up again. That could be a solution.
Chumbawamba.
I'll give you a chumbawamba if you do that.
There's also you can recruit friends so that when you're in the swimming pool, they get like pool noodles and various floats, and they smack you with it as you're going down the line.
Yeah.
Some people have training sessions like that where you swim alongside people and they kick and push you as well.
Yeah.
That's part of a recommended training session. For the warmed up, if you're not allowed in the water, you could do what I did, open lakes. And just sneak around the corner and go in anyway.
They can't see me.
You can pee in your wetsuit.
Yeah.
Or put cold water down it. No, I don't recommend that.
No.
Yeah, some of those are out of your control, right? But then the specific thing is out of your control, like not being allowed to warm up. But then, you just give yourself a couple of extra minutes at the beginning of the race. Like if you treat that as your warm up, everyone else is going off, but control your mind, set yourself up to the way that you need to do it.
Yeah. Clear. Oh, did you delete something?
Oh, maybe because I was doing sharking.
I don't remember what that was.
It's gonna take ages to get it back as well.
Okay, don't worry.
It was only 7 people.
Then there was something about oversleeping. I think that caption was sleeping. This is all about sleeping. 7 people specifically oversleeping, sleep the night before in terms of poor quality or having bad dreams that leads you to poor quality sleep, and having to wake up early for the race. Oh, and someone already said, double check your alarms, set more than one. Who said don't sleep? Someone said don't sleep.
I know we're supposed to be helping here, but you read some of these things and you think, like, why are
They're
people
beyond help.
doing it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I can't get my head under the water and I don't like waking up early.
Yeah.
Does that mean that? Or do they mean waking up too early, like waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning and not being able to get back to sleep?
No, I think it was waking up early for the race.
They like a lion.
But you say that, Alex. But like in the talk we had before with that guy, like he's having this moment in his training where he's like, "Why I'm not enjoying this? Why am I doing this?" You do like you have the bad parts of it, but you do it for a reason, right? So
yeah, but not on race day.
What do you mean?
You don't. Well, I mean exactly that. Like, I don't want to set my alarm for 7 o'clock because I don't like waking up early.
No, but it's I kind of, and it's not
Some of the
7 o'clock.
sprints or Olympics I've done, it's an afternoon start, which I think is
I think
even
that would be
worse.
worse. Yeah.
I remember being home one Sunday having breakfast and all of I thought you were doing a triathlon today. Yep.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be ready? Yeah, I'm ready. When is it? 1 o'clock.
It's horrible.
Well, how long does it take to get there? An hour? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There was an interesting tip just now about avoiding social media. It's also about knowing how, they talk about white light before night as well, screens and stuff like that, avoiding screens, but knowing how you relax. So if you've gone through your checklist and then back to what you eat and other stuff as well, is making sure that your head's in the right place so that you, avoid these things. Waking up early is something we've said. Ben just said the best time to train is first thing in the morning, so you get used to that.
Yeah, true.
I quite like it. It's like going to football when everybody's walking down the road. When you're getting up early, it's like going on holiday. It's special. It's a buzz as part of it.
The sleep the night before, I would almost count on the fact that the night before you're not going to sleep that well, and then you try and make up for it in like the week or two before as well.
Well, that was when
you're tapering,
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Extra sleep.
Yeah. There's earlier bedtime. Yeah. Not extra sleep, and it's not lying in the morning, and they do that on purpose too, so that you're still ready for you getting up in the morning. Is go to bed earlier, but wake up still at the time that you're meant to on race day. But get some extra sleep so that even if you don't sleep well on race night, then you're still good to go. Anyway, because you can survive with a night of no sleep if you need to, if you sleep well the week before.
You're going to fill yourself that morning with electrolytes, carbs, energy drinks, energy shots, energy bars. Like, you'll be fine with it. But I would say the same. Don't rely on having a good sleep, because then you start your whole day thinking like, oh God, this isn't going to go well because I didn't sleep well. Like, if you start by saying, I'm probably not going to sleep well, now what am I going to do? Then you're in a better place.
Yeah.
Oversleeping is a good one.
but also not a concern.
for you,
You've got
because there's other
people
people,
to
right?
wake
That's
up.
a good.
Yeah. And the bad dreams are inevitable. Hearing that was so funny, that coming down in the morning and you were both like, "Oh, I had such a weird dream." And everyone had such a weird, even Dad, who wasn't doing it, I had such a bad dream.
The terrible thing about
Can't
oversleeping would be like having to sort of run to get to the start line on time or something like that as well, using like
Yeah.
energy to. Because I
Yeah, to
did
get
that
there.
for you know that sand one, the Sandman one I did. I don't think it wasn't sleep, but we got there like just on time, and I put my bike in the good place, and then had to run to catch up with people going into the sea to start.
Too.
Whereas they'd all walked down to the beach. Oh, I
Mm.
can't remember what that distance swim was, but we had to walk the length of the swim because we finished where the bikes were, and I had to run it because I was already behind them all, and I didn't even get a chance to lay out my stuff or anything then as well. My stuff was all in like a shopping crate. So when I finished the swim, I was like looking through my box to try and get everything that I needed for my cycle. It was a disaster, but quite funny.
That won't be the case.
I
Oh
think
yeah,
we had that, didn't we? We went down to the one of the Maastricht or Eisden ones. There was
Yeah,
a big
that was
jam on
traffic
the
jam.
highway. Yeah.
Yeah.
We left plenty of time, but it was a bad accident that actually closed the highway. And we ended up getting there and literally just check your bag in, check your bike in, wetsuit on, go.
I think the first people had started as we were
Yeah.
coming up to the back of the queue.
Yeah.
We had free. I was surprised. Free for nutrition, maybe more since. Specifically about dinner the night before, having something healthy, filling, something that doesn't upset your tummy, and then just general hydration and or nutrition worries. I guess not enough, too much, not having things.
Make sure you train with it before you do it on race day, obviously.
But I was just thinking that with, most training plans have long run, long ride at the weekend, some of which will involve an early morning, certainly setting an alarm. But again, it's what you eat the day before, what you've drank and how well you've slept. You work out what, if you go out for a curry and have 5 beers, then you're probably not going to be on best form. Or if you are, then you know what to eat race day.
Yeah.
I think Ironman training, well, definitely the running, I've always noticed it, but this was the first time I really noticed how important the meal the night before was. If you have because I think below sort of 50, 60 kilometer bike ride, you can get away with eating pretty much anything the night before if you have good nutrition on the ride. If you're going anything above that, then your nutrition the night before has to be good too. Otherwise, you're going to struggle. And hydration too. And breakfast, as I noticed a few times this time, I was felt like I was done after 10 or 20k because I didn't eat anything before I started.
Yeah.
But that's the habits that you build up with your training. Isn't just running, cycling and swimming. It's the whole night before, day before, morning of,
Week
during
before.
training, all of that.
Yeah, I think
It says
the biggest.
something healthy, filling. Was that somebody else that put filling?
No, that was one person. Something healthy and filling.
You need to be careful with the filling because that starts to, again, you'll get to know it personally, but that could impact your sleep if that sits heavy on you.
True.
It impacts your sleep, and sometimes, what kind of cheese was that? Affects your dreams and stuff as well.
Yeah. Well, to him, I responded, "Oh, that's funny because we do just plain rice."
Oh, we do.
Yeah, I said we do.
Do you think you'll be doing the plain rice diet?
Why not? It's part of the experience, isn't it?
Well, you shouldn't do it for the first time on race.
No, nothing new.
I did.
I've got one which is a pre-made meal,
different.
which is supposed to be really bad for you, but it's got fat, and some fat's good for you as well. My one is a rice-based one. I can't remember what it's called. Do you remember, Alex?
Nasi goreng.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
I like
Why?
that.
Because it's not too filling, it's not too heavy. I can eat quite a bit of it, and it's got good carbs in it, and it's good for pooping.
Mm-hmm. That
So it
works.
ticks the boxes.
Yeah.
Salty as well. Good for your electrolyte.
Not good for a normal healthy meal. And Orna makes a lovely one, but it's no good for me because it's got veg in it and other stuff. And no, it's got to be almost that rubbish one, like you say, with the salt and other stuff in it. It's just
It's gonna be
that for me
bad.
hits the spot. That's my go-to.
Mm-hmm.
Can I make you something? No, I want that shit.
Yeah. That's it. You found your go-to, isn't it? You stick with what you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then just general other, there was a lot of people who was like, so the question was like, what stresses you out before race day? And there were a lot of people who said everything. And part of that everything, some people elaborated, some people didn't. It was just everything. But things like, yeah, your car, I guess things you can't control, your car breaking down, showing up on the wrong day for the race, forgetting some kit, something breaking, not finishing. What if, as in this, well, this lady went into it like, what if this happens? What if my car breaks down? What if, what like loads of things. Will I know how to bike? Will I eat the right things? Where will I park? Will there be space in the parking? There was quite a few people talking about parking.
Was that you? Will I know how to bike? Is that like somebody who also doesn't do one part of the training?
No. So
They have
yeah.
stabilizers on.
You should do a table on a spreadsheet that analyze each of these risks, and you have to work out and give a
probability.
weighting to what's the probability, what's the likelihood, and then what's my contingency plan.
Yeah.
And by the time you've done that, you'll be asleep. You'll wake up on time, and you'll be ready for the race.
Yeah, true. Yeah, I think a lot of these things, like, yeah, you can't do a lot.
That's
Well,
a good
those
one,
ones,
isn't it?
it's
Poor
interesting.
weather.
That list. Go back to the list. What's interesting? This is people worried and stressing. Now, stress is normally associated as a bad thing, but there's different degrees of stress and anxiety, whether it controls you or you control it. But if somebody wasn't worried about some or any of these things, then they're not worried about the race. They don't care. So I think it's not unhealthy to be what happens if this and what happens if that, and to think about it. You know, I've told you with parking, we get there before now. We checked out the day before where we're going to park, what time we're going to get there, leave a bit earlier, you know, do all of that kind of stuff. So you can prepare for it to work out, because parking can be a pig and the traffic can be a pig. But that's why Ironman make you check in the day before. You've sorted most of those problems. You're not coming from afar and you're not going to get held up. But yeah, if you say, I'm not worried about anything, yeah, having somebody else do the worry is quite good, because then you don't have to park, they can drop you off. But it's about how, you know, does that mean I'm biting my nails and sitting on a toilet and I can't get to sleep? Then you've got a problem. But worrying unnecessarily, or saying, well, like literally we joked about the spreadsheet, but the car breaks down. Yeah, who's had a car breakdown recently these days? If you haven't regularly serviced, then, and sometimes shit happens and you didn't finish, and you just say, okay, that's a lesson then.
Yeah, it's true. We also had being late through various other problems before, so not oversleeping, but I don't know, something breaks and you have to spend time fixing that, and so on. Poor weather, and this was actually quite an interesting comment about someone who said, like, people in the race who were taking part in the race posting about the weather just before the race, and like, oh no, it looks like it's going to rain, oh no, it looks like it's going to be really hot, which leads back to your point, Dad, about like maybe just avoiding social media or any of that altogether. But yeah, poor weather is in.
Yeah, you do have to be careful with the weather. I've been caught a few times where you say, I mean, especially this year seems to be very changeable. So I went out for a bike ride. We had a holiday the other Thursday. Thursday, shorts and t-shirt. Sunday, it was back to long trousers. Well, you can't. You when you pack, and it's hard to, if it's been 28 degrees for the last month, it's hard to think of it. But you do need, you know, either a raincoat or a warm weather alternative, because otherwise, if you're in the vest and the temperatures drop 10 degrees, then And again, that comes back from your training. I like this top, I like that top, but it's worth having something. Of course, you look at the forecast as well, but you're out there for the halves and fulls. You're out there for a long time, so it is worth making sure that you have another layer for the bike and for the run.
Yeah,
We
just being
go
prepared for
faster.
it. But I think actually thinking of the half marathon, for example, where we all got the emails like heat warning and so on, that was really panicking me because I was like, oh, I haven't run in shorts. Like I was still planning on running in leggings. But for me, it was okay. Like I was used to that temperature. So I think maybe the point here is like you look at the weather and you make that call of, yeah, I'm going to take warm kit, cold kit, but don't be looking at other people and what they're bringing or what they're talking about. Like that's just going to stress you out. We had getting injured before, which was you, Dad, actually. I'm surprised this didn't come up more often and during the race.
During you get medical attention, that's what's meant to be. The one that before that bothers me is we've said doing something innocuous that you just turn and slip and you go after all of the training and everything's ready and you planned and you've done your checklists, I don't know, and the dog runs in front of you or something and boof, you go down and you go like, no, no, you ruin everything through something silly. But yeah, there's nothing you can do about that.
Again, shit happens.
It's a worry. Yeah.
Isolation.
Yeah.
Monk.
A very funny one was other people, children, partners, they stress me out, like don't want to be around them on the day. And actually someone
around them.
Yeah, true. Someone even went into like will my partner go to the toilet quick enough, like, and he has a bad habit of being nervous for her on the race, and she's like, will I be late to the start line because he's on the toilet? But yeah, that was quite a big one. The actual race itself, there was no more details about
the other
that.
people all have said she won't come with me anymore because again, you need to, if it's a partner, you need to work on it, because you get to the stage where they say, well, have you thought about this? And you say, fuck off. I've been through my checklist. I've got it. It's as bad as so. And what's this? And why have you put that there? And it's like, just leave me alone. But then sometimes they can be helpful. So it's about, you need to work that relationship out. Like you said, with Sherpas, it can be very helpful. And some people do want you to say, can you help me through my checklist? And other people say, I've got it clear. I'm all calm. And if you start rattling that now, you're gonna restart everything. Yeah.
Did you see that video I sent the other day of the man on the bike and his wife was cheering him on?
Do you want me to shut up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how you doing? Good. Do you need water? Yeah. Do you want me to shut up? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We had transition and finding the bike, which I think the solution is, again, just take your time, right? Is there maybe if you're in a panic and so on, like you don't see it the first time, but you just have
some
to
people can do it with towels and some people can do it with balloons. I've seen helium balloons. It depends on the race. Some don't allow them. There is a warning here. First, they say when you check your bike in, look for a site, look for a marker, work out where you are, but also look where don't just stand at your bike and say, oh, that's the way out and that's the way in. Go to the way in and see what it looks like.
How far it is.
It's surprising.
Count the number of rows.
Yeah, and what do I turn left after the toilet, or 2 times after the toilet, or is it halfway, or there's a floodlight, or you'll find something that marks it, but go to where you're going to come in from the swim transition. It's surprising how different it looks when it's full, and it's not just your race either. Quite often the bike transition will have bikes in there for 2 or 3 races. So when you're putting your bike in, you look around, you think, oh, this is a doddle. And you come in the next morning and there's 5 times as many bikes and you go, oh my God, where's this not come from? But if you have picked out, okay, I run along to here, and it could be, like I say, a toilet along the fence, or a floodlight, or a shed or something. And then and I'm halfway along here, then you'll find it. Because often they're quite long rows. So if you say, oh, I've gone down the wrong row, it's the next one, no big deal. not only is it longer than you want out and back, but you're then running against everybody else, which annoys you and them. So it really, they'd said it before. I remember it right at the beginning. Check, walk out from the swim exit and see where your bike is and get to see what it's like.
Practice
Get to
it.
see how it would be like, and then where you'd come out from your bike.
Mm-hmm.
But they do it by numbers too, right? So it's labelled at the end of each row.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
and you
you
have your
think is
number
going to
on
be
you.
easy. Yeah. But then 999 compared to 799 compared to 599 looks very bloody similar when you're in a hurry. That's the problem. And it's 599 to 798. You go, whoa.
Which one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you have the sticker on your bike, but Alex, we really might need to like put something orange or big, because you can identify that it's your bike. But if I've never seen this bike before, like I could really am at risk of taking someone else's. I need an identifier somehow, other than just the number, just to be sure.
Get a hairband or something on the handlebar.
Oh, yeah. As I say, it depends on the transition. Some of them, your shoes are right next to the bike, so you won't take the wrong bike. But with Ironman, it's a bag separate, so you would have had your shoes on before you go to your bike.
Oh yeah,
And I think they may check it on the way out.
They will check the bike number matches the bib number normally, won't they?
They do it pretty quickly without you realising it, yeah.
Yeah, it depends how many people you're next to and that kind of thing as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
But
And
That's what I was going to say.
I've never had a problem finding my bike.
I was going to say,
And-
transition. If you swim slowly, this your one's the last bike left anyway.
true.
That's the other thing. When you get in there, it's I've had the opposite problem a couple of times. Saying somebody's taken my bike. No, but yeah, there aren't many left. So
True.
yeah, in some ways that helps.
Yeah. We had two cocky bastards say nothing. Nothing stressed them out. One joker, putting a cold heart rate monitor on, and I went, "Can you not get your Sherpa to warm that up for you beforehand?" Which he found very funny. Taper week, having phantom aches and pains.
part of it.
Yeah, horribly enough. Yeah, getting
It's
ill.
worrying though, isn't it? Yeah.
Self-doubt, not reaching expectations, which is very interesting because this was not inputted by Alex, but he could definitely add another number there. Someone just said the
But
bike.
the answer there, again, with just the other podcast, is if you're not going to meet your expectations, don't quit. Treat it as a training, learning experience.
Yeah. It's an experience.
And set better expectations.
Who said that? Who said that?
We've got it recorded. We had the bike. There was no more information. I don't know if that's the bike physically or the bike course. Couldn't tell you. The run, cramps and pain in the run.
That was
entering
the run, not the runs.
Or maybe. Entering the pain cave, which I thought was quite interesting and maybe linked to like some self-doubt or expectations, because all they said
why would
actually
anyone be afraid of full stops?
The next one. I was like, what? All he said was pain cave, and I was like, what about it? Like going into it, and he was like, yeah, that's super scary, which is interesting.
Is he talking about training though then?
No, in the race.
Yeah, I think the pain zone.
Yeah. And then as dad, periods. Any solutions for that one?
Menstruation jokes. Menstruation jokes aren't funny. Period.
Hey.
Move on.
Yeah.
That's it.
So yeah. All quite valid, but no, I think a lot of them things you can't control. So I wasn't so surprised by so many of them.
And which ones resonated with you, or what would you say were your biggest worries now? Top 3.
The swim. The swim.
Top 3. The bike, the run.
What's up with the swim? Is it your mummy shark again?
No, I think I could feel all three of my worries with the swim. Like the distance right now, the washing machine, the coldness, not being able to see. I tried a little bit of sighting, is that what you call it, in the swimming pool. I didn't really know what was going on. A second thing, maybe pooping.
Well, you don't have to worry about
fair.
the washing machine because we've got the start planned for you, like the one behind you. You'll have your own special lane with rose petals in it, and
Good.
we'll have markers and say, right, everybody else out. This is Rebecca's princess path all the way through.
Good. That would be really
Ben's
nice.
there to swim just in front of you. He'll be pushing people out the way.
Out the way and peeing.
And
Yeah,
pooping, so
keeping
yeah,
it
we can go
warm for
behind
you.
them.
I was gonna say, that's good. That solves the other issue of warmth, then, doesn't it? You'll be warm if you follow my pee trail.
You're following the Gulf Stream.
If you want, I can have some sort of neon tail too, like dangling, so you don't have to look to the sides. You can just follow that under the water too.
That
That
would
would be
be
nice.
good. That would be good, actually.
I've always said that about triathlon, haven't I, Alex? I said at Almere it was okay, but if you'd had like a sort of not a
Line
UV line,
underneath.
a line that you had to follow for the optimal route around.
That
I mean, it
would
would be
be
even
good.
more crowded then, but it would be quite cool because you wouldn't have to look up so much.
Yeah.
Be
Yeah.
even better if it moved along around the lake and you could just hold on to it too. But
And if it was like a light, you could set your pace, and then it was like you have to stay with it.
Oh.
But reckon
Copyright
you're not
that.
so worried. You're not so worried about the bike, and you're not at all worried about the run.
Not right now. I don't know if that's just naiveness, but
No, but you've run the half marathon in Leuven,
yeah.
and you've done some other runs. So the whole point, and you've done a big bike now, so you're getting used to the bike. The whole point is, the more you train, the more you get used to it. You know the distances, you know all of that kind of stuff. Okay, you know what to worry about as well. But that's why, because you've done the least swimming, that's why you're most worried about it. But
Yeah, it's true.
You've got enough time to sort that out. But
And we knew
you know,
that, right? That's the one that I've never done ever. So it's not a surprise. But yeah, that's the one right now. I
You
even
got
had a thought the other day
107 days, or after your month off, 77 days.
I had a thought going into the swimming pool of like, there might even be a possibility that I DNS. Like if I just can't do the swim distance, because I don't know right now.
That's
no,
not
between now and then you'll get the swim distance.
so wait,
don't
after
think-
holiday, she has 77 days.
Yeah.
after
It's
yeah,
not.
well, in
No.
1 month.
It's not a month off.
No,
No,
it's
no,
not
I'm just
that
saying.
far.
That's 11 weeks. How many swims does she do per week? 2.
2.
Yeah, and there's tapering as well somewhere in there, isn't there?
The last
So the
week.
most probably she has 20 swims left before the triathlon, if she does them all.
And on that note,
That's why you must do them all. Yeah.
And on that bombshell,
well, that's why it's a serious concern, but we can talk about that in the next episode.
Just in case I haven't made it clear.
Yeah, clear. Alrighty.
What's your point?
Very well then.
Do you know I struggle to sleep after our episodes?
Oh dear.
Yes, I do.
Is that stress?
Yes, it is.
Maybe
Thinking,
you
oh,
need to like have the record, like cut some bits out and play it not before you're going to bed, but maybe when you should be swimming or something.
okay, we can finish because he's just getting sassy. It's 10, 11
can we
o'clock.
make
Well,
can you
what
make
could do?
a
I
voice
used,
note, an alarm?
What, like, wake
Oh.
up and swim, bitch?
Yeah.
Well, they're talking about how to get you swimming. I'm thinking about how you go to sleep, which could also work on race night. Is if you do some yoga or stretching or dynamic triathlete or something like that.
True.
That also helps to get you in the zone.
Well, you're
Yeah.
not
do that.
like it's because it's stressful, right? What's causing
Yeah.
the stress? Not doing
Oh,
the session.
okay, we're
So
done.
maybe if you just did the
We're
session.
done. We're done. Good night,
You know what